Good Monday evening, everyone. Welcome to Garden State Weather Premium on YouTube, Garden State Weather Forecast, and Garden State Weather on Facebook, and Garden State WX on Twitter. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. This post Monday here, Monday evening after Mother's Day, wet Mother's Day weekend actually. Not itself so much on Sunday, but Saturday definitely was. This is the video forecast discussion for this Monday evening, the 9th of May, 2022. And it's 69 and sunny right now here at the Weather Center in West Orange, New Jersey. We're taking a look at the weather for the week ahead. And first, we want to start out with the observations. The 250 millibar jet stream structure here shows a split flow with lots of blockingness here in the Pacific jet stream here, and a west to east flow underneath that in a split flow pattern with the subtropical jet stream removed from the energy. So this is a split flow. Here is our coastal storm here at off the mid-Atlantic coast right now, and it's vertically stacked at all levels of the atmosphere. Even at 500 millibars, you can take a look, and it's still vertically stacked there. 700 millibars, same thing. Down to 850 millibars, it is the same thing. And with this blocking pattern that we have in place, we're going to experience quite a bit of changes in our forecast going forward, but there's some good news here. If we took a look at the total cloud water vapor channel here, and if we zoomed in here, you can actually see that most of the cloud cover in the water vapor content is removed off the coast, and we have a northerly flow aloft at 250 millibars, and even at 850 millibars, the winds are still coming in from the northeast, so it's rather chilly right along the shore points as would be expected with this upper level low. Now, high pressure ridge here blocking this from exiting the coast, and lots of energy coming into the west coast, but it's also being blocked up here as well. So everything is a blocked pattern right now. Taking a look at the satellite imagery, the visible satellite this afternoon, it shows that low pressure center here off the southern mid-Atlantic coastal waters here. The northeast flow pumping in some of the clouds in and out of here on that northeast flow, especially right along the coast this afternoon as we're getting closer to sunset here. Lots of dry air here in the mid-levels and surface levels of the atmosphere here over the eastern United States with confluence and convergence. Let's take a look at the low-level water vapor, and as you can see, plenty of moisture here out over the coastal waters with our upper-level low, high-pressure ridge here over Canada, and also down into the south central plains area here. This large dome of high pressure, this is convergence and confluence here, so lots of sinking air and dry conditions and mostly clear skies. And we'll take a look at the surface observations here. It's mostly just a few clouds around the area at about 9,000 feet, a few clouds at about 10,000 feet, overcast near the coastline at about 8,000 to 9,000 feet. And it's broken to overcast again by interior sections as well, but most areas are generally clear, just a few clouds. Temperatures have reached the upper 60s and lower 70s this hour, and we're going up in temperatures. Dew points are very dry, so the relative humidity is very dry too. Look at these dew point temperatures here, so that's good news. As mentioned, with that subsidence, and temperatures are generally running in the upper 60s to lower 70s across the region this afternoon. Again, it's 69 and sunny here at the Weather Center, 68 at Rutgers University Meteorology Program. In New Brunswick, the winds are out of the northeast at about 9, still gusting up to about 17 miles an hour. Warm spots this hour: Stewartsville 72, 71 at Peak West, Sandyston, West Deptford, and Walpack. Chillier up around the coast at Harvey Cedars at 54 with that east-northeast wind. Seaside also chilly at 55. Seagirt, New Jersey at 56. Atlantic City Marine at 56. And Wall Township is at 57. Must be something obscuring the Asbury Park Boardwalk ocean cam, and the regular cam here on the boardwalk not looking too good either. Let's see if we can refresh this. See if this comes up better. A few people walking out here. Obviously, they're dressed up in spring, winter-like clothing, actually, because the winds are out of the ocean here, out of the east-northeast, and it's pretty raw outside. Around here, temperatures are generally running in the 50s, where inland areas are running in the 70s. And if you suffer from allergies, it's the major trees today which are continuing to green out. The oaks, the birches, and the maples here, and that means your allergy forecast is going to be high over the next couple of days, today, tomorrow, right through the week, actually. And the other thing, asthma is going to be on the upside too, as well. So if you got breathing problems because of the allergies, you're going to need your asthmatic medication. Looking live right now from our charts here. Big high pressure dome over the top of us, big coastal storm here out over the Atlantic Ocean waters, pumping in an east-northeast wind. Clear skies over most of the eastern United States, not bad. And you'd have to get up into Minnesota here where there's a couple of watch boxes, and this is for some very strong thunderstorms, some severe weather up here. And as you can see, this storm is heading into Canada as being blocked up here along the east coast. From getting to the east coast, actually, I should say. Another thing here, you want to talk about the heat. 101, upper 90s here in Texas. This is very high heat. And the opposite side of this spectrum, where temperatures are in the upper 90s to lower 100s here in Texas, it is quite chilly in the Rockies and points to the north and west here over Idaho and Montana. Temperatures are in the 40s, few 30s too, at the highest elevation. So this shows you a weather pattern that is evolving here, and it's going to be a busy one. While we're looking at storm reports here, there's possible tornado signatures showing up on Doppler radar here across Washington, Minnesota, Isanti, Minnesota, and Polk, Wisconsin. Also, a radar indicated possible tornadoes here over Kennebec, Minnesota, Montana actually, and also over Dakota, Minnesota actually, over these areas for severe thunderstorms this afternoon. And over portions of eastern Minnesota and western Wisconsin this afternoon, we do have that Tornado Watch 194 in effect until about 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time tonight. A few tornadoes are possible, scattered large hail, isolated very large hail events up to 2.5 inches in diameter possible, scattered damaging wind gust up to 70 miles per hour, and these supercell thunderstorms expected across portions of the eastern Minnesota and western Wisconsin this afternoon and evening amid a strongly unstable air mass. All severe hazards are possible with these storms, including tornadoes and very large hail. We can see this on Doppler radar this afternoon across Minnesota, especially near Minneapolis, Minnesota, and North Branch here. These are strong thunderstorms. There's either severe thunderstorm watch boxes or tornado watch box here in effect over the next hour or so as these thunderstorms are making their way through the area rapidly. And these blue boxes here that indicate some power outages that are still occurring throughout the region. The latest and greatest here. National Weather Service digital database high temperatures for today. They maxed out nicely, cool right along the coast, South Shore and east ends of Long Island with that northeast wind. Inland areas got up into the low 70s, upper 60s, further to the south and west. Tomorrow, same kind of story. Not much has changed. Northeast wind off the ocean, keeping the shore points and ocean port areas chilly. Inland areas getting into low and mid 70s, about normal for this time of the year, and then we really ramp it up on Thursday. Inland sections getting into the upper 70s, possibly an 80-degree reading here or there. We do that again on Friday. Saturday looks warm too, excepting the ocean fronts and coastal areas as expected for this time of the year, and not much change on Sunday. So if you're looking for warmer than average temperatures, well, they're going to be below normal if you live along the coast, okay, by a couple of degrees, but interior locations away from the water will be several degrees above normal. And we can see this trend actually showing up in the model guidance here for Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, and it really gets warm around here over the interior sections, but not so along the coast because of this blocked up pattern and an onshore flow. We finally break that on Saturday where everybody's above normal by several degrees, and again that kind of trend continues into Sunday of next week. And for the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area, if you're looking for precipitation, we're not finding anything through Thursday, the 12th here. So, you know, we had plenty over the weekend, so we're just going to have to wait. European charts here, relative vorticity across the nation and North America actually. It's a very busy pattern, but a busy blocked up one. Here's our close low, still spinning out over the Atlantic pretty much through the week and retrograding southwest towards the southern mid-Atlantic and into, let's say the southeast and Florida here. High pressure ridge across the upper Midwest from Canada all the way down through Texas. Here's the new, this very active pattern here with these disturbances coming in into this blocking pattern here in the western Atlantic here, the western Pacific actually, into the western United States coast. But the pattern here is very blocked up in the eastern United States. So this is not really going to send too much energy. But what happens with this upper level low is interesting, because as some of these impulses of energy come into the west coast, they're going to conjoin, and eventually this has to lift to the north and east. So that bears the question of just how much vorticity is going to be around as we head into next weekend with any kinds of rain showers across the region before the pattern eventually evolves from this split flow pattern that we're in now. This very split flow pattern now, and then to the one that we're going to get to in the next 10 days by the 19th, west to east flow. So yeah, we got questions. 500 millibar heights here. You can see the retrograding of the storm system off the coast here. And underneath this is a Rex block. So this is high pressure over low pressure here as this is beginning to fill and weaken as it moves into the southwest, into Florida, believe it or not, of all places, right? And a ridge over the top here in the eastern United States, troughing now again in the Pacific into Canada. Where do we go? Well, probably going to experience not too much weather until maybe, this weekend, depending on how this interaction evolves here with the lifting of this low back north and east and then out to sea before another cold front comes in from the Pacific flow and the 500 millibar heights begin to lower again by early next week, and then out that goes too. So it doesn't look too terrible out there, to tell you the truth. We'll do the precipitation charts here. Probably get into the United States here. This would be a better way of doing it. And we can see that retrograding of that storm and pulling some of the moisture back into the southeast. Meanwhile, up in the upper Midwest, we have the front and the low. Now, where does this all go by Saturday? Some of this gets lifted back north. It's not a washout for the weekend, even though it might look like that, but there is a chance of precipitation on Saturday and even on Saturday night and Sunday morning as this goes out, and then another cold front comes in. This one could be a little bit more potent as we get into Monday afternoon, Monday night, and Tuesday, with an area of low pressure right along the frontal boundary inducing precipitable order values that will increase the amount of activity, and then that moves out, and not looking so bad after that, but chillier for sure. This is a very active pattern. Briefly going back to your observations this evening, you can see temperatures in the low to mid 70s over the interior here, upper 60s, low 70s. Notice the cool spots here right along the coast with those winds. And the wind gusts, they continue quite choppy right along the coastline areas, and a little bit choppy, a little breezy actually over the interior as well. Fresh out of the Climate Prediction Center here is the 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook for Sunday, the 15th through Thursday, the 19th. Above normal temperatures basically across most of the country, excepting the upper Midwest and, of course, the Great Lakes, which will be cooler, associated with the storm systems here in the polar jet. 8 to 14, about neutral here, warmer than average here again, and above average here in Texas. In fact, the heat's just going to continue in these areas here over the next 14 days. Precipitation, a little bit wetter than average here in the eastern United States, but not by much. Very dry, drought conditions here in the central plains, southern and central plains, and Intermountain West, actually to the Colorado Rockies here. And the 8 to 14 right now looking about the same. We'll look at the European forecast from this morning here for the next 10 days or so. Storm system spinning out here across the eastern United States out over the ocean here. Northeast wind still in play. Rain showers building back into the Carolinas, but there's not a lot of precipitation here across the New England states until a cold front comes through early next week, and that could be really super duper. Don't want to get into the sounding here, probably just want to get into local areas here and check this out. This looks pretty good for some heavier downpours, even some isolated thunderstorms around here as we head into next Monday and Tuesday. It's showing up here. There you go. Weather Prediction Center, what's interesting on the charts here? Well, here is our area of thunderstorms over Wisconsin and Minnesota, ahead of a warm front, cold front, and somewhat of a warm injection here into this, which is showing up in the model guidance as well, and the water vapor channel. That heads into the east here towards the Great Lakes and the upper Canadian border here. Believe it or not, snow in the upper Midwest again, in the west coast here, in the mountains here of Idaho and Montana and Washington and Oregon. Even Northern California could see some snow. That's crazy, right? Here's that storm blocked up here out over the Atlantic at a northeast wind with high pressure over the top of us with confluence and convergence, so clear skies basically. Even though the wind and the air is cooler, interior sections will see sinking air, and that sinking air under confluence and convergence will lead to very warm temperatures over the next couple of days into the week ahead. Not really seeing too much here. As we get into Thursday, that low is now off of the coast of Georgia and the Carolinas here. Coastal front back building here across Maryland and Virginia and the Carolinas with some rain on the coast, but high pressure over the top of us keep us dry. By the time we get to Friday, well, that situation changes a little bit. The high starts to give way and the winds veer around into the east-southeast, and we could have some chances of rain here later in the week, and Saturday too, as you can see, with this coastal front moving inland, and this feed of moisture has to get north ahead of this cold front here, so that means a busy pattern coming up for the weekend.